Have you ever wondered why some ideas just, explode, become these huge movements?
Yeah, while others may be just as brilliant, they just stall.
Exactly. What's that invisible line an idea crosses? We've talked before about the golden circle framework.
Right, nailing down your core why, your belief.
And then defining your how, the actions, and clarifying the results.
The tangible stuff.
But okay, knowing all that, well, it's only half the battle, isn't it?
Definitely.
So today, we're diving into the next step. How do you actually spread that? Why? How do you inspire action, on a massive scale?
We're looking at the tipping point.
Yeah, but not as some kind of luck. More like a predictable result of doing things right, human to human. Let's unpack it.
Okay, so to get how movements spread, we need a map. And Everett Rogers' law of diffusion of innovation, well, it gives us one.
The diffusion curve.
Exactly. It shows how any new idea moves through a population. You've got these phases, these groups. First, the innovators, tiny group, maybe 2.5%. Then the crucial early adopters, about 13.5%. Then the big chunks, early majority, late majority, both around 34%.
And finally,
The laggards, the last 16% or so.
But what's really interesting, though, is that standard marketing often says, go for the middle. Target that big majority.
Right, the 68%.
But Sinek argues, and it makes sense, that this is exactly why so many great ideas just fail.
It's such a common trap. Think about TiVo back in, 97?
Yeah, TiVo.
Yeah.
Revolutionary.
God.
Pause live TV, skip ads.
Totally. A fantastic, the features. And superior how the tech was great,
Right.
but their marketing, it just hammered on the features. A rational pitch aimed at that rational majority.
And it didn't work. Commercial failure, basically.
Pretty much. They needed the folks on the left of the curve first.
So TiVo was selling the features, to a market that actually needed to buy into a why.
Precisely. Imagine if they'd said something like, look, if you're the kind of person who wants total control, who likes to break the mold, well, we've got something for you.
That hits different. It's about identity, not just a gadget.
And that leads to the tipping point idea. For an idea to really catch fire, to get that unstoppable momentum, it has to get through that first 15 to 18%.
So the innovators plus those early adopters.
Yes. It's not just numbers. It's a map of how trust gets passed along from a belief outwards. Now, the innovators, they jump in first. But it's really the early adopters, that 13.5%, they're the linchpin.
They're the ones who make or break it.
You could say that. They're visionaries. They don't just understand the why, they actively champion it, often when it's not even popular yet.
Which brings us right back to Sinek's big idea. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it.
Exactly. And he argues this isn't just like clever ad copy, it's biological.
The limbic brain stuff.
Yeah, your why connects with that part of the brain that handles feelings, trust, loyalty, gut decisions. Early adopters are just really comfortable acting on that gut feeling.
Even if the product isn't perfect yet.
Think about the first iPhone buyers lining up for hours.
Right. For a phone that couldn't even do basic things back then compared to now.
They weren't just buying a phone, the what? They were buying into Apple's why challenging things, empowering people. They bought a symbol.
So those early adopters become like co-conspirators in the cause.
That's a good way to put it. And they give that crucial validation, that social proof, that the next group, the early majority, needs before they'll jump in. Okay, but there's a tricky part. Between the early adopters and that early majority, there's this gap. Jeffrey Moore called it the chasm.
The danger zone.
Absolutely. It's where most great ideas just fall in and disappear because the psychology is different.
How so?
Early adopters run on belief, intuition. The early majority, they're more practical. They need proof. They want references, less risk.
So bridging that chasm, how's it done? You can't just push harder, right?
No, the only reliable bridge is a clear, powerful why. It builds that deep emotional trust.
Because it creates a shared identity. Like people who believe this, do this.
Exactly. The early majority sees people, they identify with adopting the idea, and suddenly it feels safer, less like a leap of faith. And this whole thing ties into the two basic ways you can influence people: manipulation and inspiration.
Okay, manipulation. That sounds negative, but it's common in business, right? Price cuts, promotions, maybe using fear or peer pressure.
Yeah, those tactics, they can work. Short term, you get a transaction, maybe change behavior for a bit.
But no real loyalty, just compliance.
Right. Inspiration, though, that works from the inside out. It's not about convincing people. It's about finding and attracting people who already believe what you believe.
Like the Wright brothers example.
Perfect example. They had almost no funding, terrible conditions, but this unwavering belief, this why about human flight.
Versus Langley.
Who had everything. Money, backing, but his why was maybe more about fame and fortune. He quit when things got tough publicly.
Or Dr. King.
Yes. He didn't give an I have a plan speech.
He gave the I have a dream speech. A vision. A belief.
And people showed up in droves, not because he told them what to do, but because he articulated a belief they already held inside.
Okay, so boiling it down. Manipulation changes behavior, maybe temporarily. Inspiration declares identity and builds lasting loyalty.
That's the core difference. One gets you a sale, the other gets you a follower, a true believer.
So the actual secret to hitting that tipping point,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's about discipline. The discipline to maybe counterintuitively ignore the majority at first.
Yes. Focus intensely on those who get it, who share your why. A movement starts with a leader, sure, but it's built by those first believers. So let's make this actionable. 2 challenges for you listening. First, identify your early adopters.
Stop thinking target market.
Right. Think first believers. Who would join your mission because they share the core belief, not just because they like the features? Who are your people?
Okay, challenge 1. What's the second?
Second, lead with inspiration, not incentives. Next time you need to motivate your team or launch something, resist the urge to just talk about the task or the reward.
Start with the why.
Start with the why. Share the deeper purpose, the belief behind it all. Don't just give a plan, share the dream.
So it really comes down to this, the power to truly move the world. It isn't really about the budget or slick marketing.
Not fundamentally.
It's in the clarity of your belief and your ability to find others who genuinely share it. So the question for you is, what belief will you ignite?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're taking Simon Sinek's Start With Why framework off the page.
Right. Moving beyond just the theory.
Exactly. We want to see how having a really clear why, that core belief, actually leads to, real success, real impact.
And crucially, what can happen when companies lose sight of that why?
We'll be looking at some big names. Apple, Southwest Airlines, and Microsoft.
Yeah, and there's some surprising stories in there. It really comes down to understanding that golden circle. Start with your purpose, your why, then figure out how you'll do it, and only then what you'll actually offer the what's.
Okay, let's dive in with Apple. Back in 1997, things were looking pretty bleak for them.
Bleak is an understatement. They were supposedly, 90 days from going under?
Right. So Steve Jobs comes back. What's the first move? You'd think new products, right?
You would, but no. It's fascinating. He focused entirely on the why. Remember the Think Different campaign?
Oh, yeah. Iconic.
It wasn't about tech specs at all. It was like a call to arms for the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels.
So it tapped right into Apple's original why.
Precisely. To challenge the status quo. To empower individuals, creatives, to change the world. That was the core belief.
And then came the how. Beautiful design, simplicity, thinking differently about the user experience.
And what the great computers, the iPod, the iPhone, later all flowed from that belief.
It's like that why acted as a filter. You mentioned he slashed loads of products.
But something like 70%. Because they didn't fit the why. It acted like a corporate immune system, keeping them focused.
That idea of a why driving radical focus, it makes me think of Southwest Airlines. Very different industry, same principle.
Absolutely. Southwest's why was, revolutionary for airlines back then. It was about democratizing the sky.
Making flying accessible for everyone, essentially.
Exactly. Giving ordinary people freedom. Their mission now is connect people to what's important in their lives. Still very purpose-driven.
And how did that why shape their operations?
It dictated everything. Extreme efficiency was key. So fly only one plane type, the Boeing 737.
Right. Cuts down on maintenance complexity, training.
Totally. And no assigned seats, no meals, point-to-point routes, no hidden bag fees. All these hows kept costs super low.
All serving the why of affordable flying.
And that consistency built incredible loyalty in a really tough business.
Okay, so that's the power of sticking to your why. But what about losing it? Microsoft.
Microsoft. Yeah, it's kind of a cautionary tale, isn't it? Despite, a bold start, they got sidetracked.
How so?
They became obsessed with beating Apple. Just focusing on the competition. Sinek calls that playing a finite game. just trying to win against someone else.
Instead of focusing on their own larger purpose, their infinite game.
Exactly. And the result, it apparently led to this toxic know-it-all culture.
Which stifled innovation, right? They missed some big shifts.
They did. They fell behind in areas like mobile search. But the story doesn't end there. Can a company rediscover its why?
That's the key question. Satya Nadella takes over.
And he leads this incredible turnaround. He brings Microsoft back to a core why, to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more.
That's a powerful statement, much broader than just beating Apple.
Much broader. And the how to achieve that required a deep cultural change.
The shift from know-it-all to learn-it-all.
That was it. Emphasizing empathy, customer obsession, diversity. It was a massive re-engineering job to make that new why feel authentic. It shows you can come back, but it takes serious work.
It's not just companies, though, is it? This why idea applies more broadly.
Oh, definitely. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. His most famous speech wasn't, "I have a plan."
It was, "I have a dream." His why.
Exactly. He shared his belief, his why, and 250,000 people showed up because they shared that belief too.
Or nonprofits. Doctors Without Borders, their why is delivering medical aid impartially. The ACLU defending liberty.
For a purpose. That's what attracts people, volunteers, donors. Their why is crystal clear.
So, pulling this all together, Apple's rebellion, Southwest's focus, Microsoft's comeback, it always starts with why.
It really does seem to be the key. Starting with why inspires people, builds resilience, creates lasting impact.
Okay, so for you listening, here's something to think about. First, take a brand you really like, one you're loyal to. Can you actually articulate its why? Try mapping it out. Why, how, what?
Yeah, see if it fits the model. And second, maybe think about a failure, a company that stumbled, or even a project you were involved in that didn't work out.
Analyze it through that golden circle lens. Was the why missing or unclear? Did the how and what not really connect to a core purpose?
Could a clearer why have changed the outcome? It's a powerful way to look at things.
Because understanding why isn't just about business strategy, is it?
Not at all. It's fundamental. It's about understanding what actually drives us, what connects us as humans.
Yeah. And maybe that's the real deep dive, figuring out our own why.
Okay, think about your best boss for a second. Now, your worst. What really separated them, it probably wasn't just a skill level, right? Something more.
One was maybe just in charge, technically.
Exactly. And the other was a genuine leader. Simon Sinek put it well, leadership isn't rank, it's choosing to look after the person next to you.
It's a choice.
That's really the core of what we're calling the leadership litmus test today. So we're doing a deep dive into this idea of why-driven leadership. We want to give you a framework, sort of a lens, to evaluate leaders, and maybe even yourself.
Yeah, practical tools.
We'll hit 4 key tests. Are they focused on people? Do they guard the why, the core purpose? Are they authentic? And how do they build culture? Plus, the real cost when trust gets broken.
That cost can be huge.
Definitely. So let's dive in. First test. Is the person in charge focused on the job or the people doing it?
Right. And this is where you see that split between just managing and actually leading.
So what's happening there systemically?
Well, the challenge is often in how we promote. People get promoted because they're good at their specific job function.
Got technical skills, yeah.
Exactly. But then they're put in charge of people, and the training for the why skills, like empathy, building trust, communicating vision, it's often just not there.
Which explains the micromanager.
It does. They genuinely know the what better than anyone, maybe, but they haven't made that crucial shift to being responsible for the people, you know? It's about creating that psychological safety.
It reminds me of Sinek challenging CEOs who say, my customer is my priority.
Oh, yeah.
He asks, when was the last time you actually talked to a customer? His point is, a leader's real job is the people who are responsible for the results.
That's it. And leading those people involves what Sinek calls great personal sacrifice. It's a learnable choice. Leadership is.
But it demands something.
Demands being the guardian of the why. Creating an environment, that circle of safety, where people feel secure enough to trust each other and advance the cause.
That Marine Corps story comes to mind. The officer eating last.
Perfect example.
His actions showed his people he'd put them first. That inspires incredible loyalty.
Absolutely. And contrast that with, say, big layoffs just to hit some arbitrary number on a spreadsheet, while the executives protect their own bonuses.
That feels different.
It is different. It's not just numbers. Sinek calls it a profound violation of the social contract. It's a betrayal. It shatters that safety.
Which leads right into the next test, authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
Cynic's definition is pretty straightforward. The things you say and the things you do, you actually believe.
Consistency. It builds trust. But how do you prove authenticity? Through vulnerability. Having the courage sometimes to say, I messed up, or I don't actually know the answer, or, crucially, I need your help.
That takes guts.
It does. But it humanizes the leader. It builds incredibly deep trust because it gives everyone else permission to be human too. It's the opposite of that, toxic positivity where problems get ignored.
So authenticity isn't just like a personality trait. It's something you practice.
Exactly. It's a skill. It's the result of practicing vulnerability.
And that ties into the leader's role as the architect of a purpose-driven culture.
Yeah, and that culture isn't built with posters or slogans.
Yeah.
It's built on tiny daily habits of trust, like does someone refill the coffee pot? Does the team rally when someone's struggling? It's also about teaching human skills how to have those difficult conversations constructively.
Values need to be verbs too, right?
Yeah.
Not just nouns on a plaque.
Precisely. Actionable, so you can hold people accountable. At the end of the day, the real culture is shown by the behaviors leadership models and allows, especially how mistakes are treated, blame, or help.
That's revealing.
Now, about the cost of compromise. The price of betrayal.
Yeah.
Success itself can sometimes make the why fuzzy. You get what Cynic calls the split.
The split.
Where what the metrics, the revenue, the tangible results starts to overshadow the why, the original purpose or cause. Think about Walmart shifting from a community focus purely to numbers.
They lost something.
They did. It's actually a strategic failure. Leaders have to be this constant, powerful counterbalance against the pull of just the what. They have to keep reinvesting in the why.
Because the consequence of losing that why is losing trust, losing loyalty. Your products just become commodities.
Look at Dell versus Apple. Dell was defined by what it made computers. Apple was and is guided by its why. That allowed them to innovate across totally different categories.
So let's bring this home for everyone listening. How do you use this? Here's your own leadership litmus test. 4 questions.
Okay.
1, are you, or the leader you're looking at, focused mainly on the people or the job tasks? 2, do you protect your people and the organization's why, even when it's personally costly?
That sacrifice point again.
3, do your actions consistently back up your stated beliefs? Are you willing to be vulnerable? And 4, are you intentionally building a culture of trust and purpose through those small, everyday actions?
Good questions to ask.
And 2 quick, actionable things you can try. First, in your next team meeting, try to consciously lead with why. Start with the purpose before jumping into the tasks.
Frame the context.
Yeah. Second, use what we could call the leader's why test on any influential figure, politician, CEO, whoever. Ask yourself, do I actually know why they do what they do? Do they take responsibility? Or do they blame others? Do they make people around them feel safe?
It's a useful filter.
Look, leadership is definitely a journey. It's a skill you practice. It's not about being perfect.
Ever is.
It's about choosing day by day to try and be the leader you wish you had. That's the blueprint, really, for building workplaces, maybe even a world where people feel inspired, safe, and fulfilled when they show up. Welcome back to another deep dive. Today, we're unpacking a really interesting concept, the golden circle. The idea that great organizations communicate, starting with why they do something, then how, then what.
Exactly. And while that's often aimed at customers, we're looking inside today.
How that why impacts hiring, company culture, everything, really.
But that's it. Because honestly, overlooking your why when you hire, that can lead straight to disengagement, a real weakening from the inside out.
So our mission today is kind of exploring how the best companies really hire for that purpose, not just, skills on a resume.
Creating a workforce that's more resilient, more adaptable, it's crucial.
Okay, so let's unpack this first bit. Cultural fit. What are we really talking about here?
Well, it gets misunderstood sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, people think it just means like hiring people you'd want to grab a beer with.
Right, but it's much deeper. It's about a real alignment between someone's attitudes, their values, their work style, and the company's core essence, its why.
And when that clicks, what happens?
Oh, the effect is huge. You see engagement just skyrocket. People feel a sense of purpose, real job satisfaction.
That numbers on that.
Yeah, some studies suggest up to a 30% reduction in employee turnover, and teamwork gets way better, obviously.
Okay, the benefits seem pretty clear then. But isn't there a potential downside? Like, if everyone fits too well, does that risk groupthink? Maybe stifle new ideas?
That is such a vital point, and it's actually why the conversation is shifting now. Moving from just cultural fit towards cultural add. We can touch on that more.
Okay, yeah, let's circle back to that. But first, what about the flip side? When the fit isn't there, what's the actual cost?
It's significant. We're talking a real financial drain. Estimates put it at 50 to 60% of that person's annual salary.
50 to 60%. Wow.
Yeah, so for some roles, that could easily top $100,000 for just one misaligned hire.
Real.
And that's just the direct cost. It disrupts teams, tanks morale, can even hurt your brand reputation.
And often the mistake is what? Just focusing too much on the technical skills?
That's a big part of it, overemphasizing the what and how without digging into the why.
Right. So given those stakes, how do companies get this right? How do they actually hire for that deeper why? Any examples?
Absolutely. Let's look at Zappos. Their big why is all about delivering happiness.
Okay.
So get this. All new hires, doesn't matter if they're engineers or accountants, they go through a 4-week customer loyalty team training. Everyone. And they even offer that famous pay to quit deal, like $4,000 to leave after training if you feel it's not a fit.
That's confidence in their culture.
Oh.
And they ask that weirdness question.
They do. On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you? It's about embracing individuality within their core values.
Okay, who else? What about Southwest Airlines? They always seem different.
Totally. Their why is wrapped up in that fun on leaving attitude. Their whole philosophy was basically hire for attitude, train for skill.
Hire for attitude. I like that. And didn't they have some unusual test?
Huh? Yeah, the legendary brown shorts test for pilots. Co-founder Herb Kelleher apparently used it to see if pilots would embrace their, less formal, fun-loving culture.
Brown shorts for pilots.
Yeah.
Okay, that really says something about embedding your why deep, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's less about ticking boxes.
Exactly. It's more of a feeling like finding your tribe. Then you've got Patagonia.
Ah, the environmental focus.
Right. Driven by environmentalism, social justice, that's their why. And you see it in their benefits. Paid parental leave, paid time off for activism, fair wages, even 401ks invested in environmental solutions.
So the why shapes even compensation. Okay, one more. Apple. They're all about innovation.
Right, relentless innovation. And their hiring reflects that. It's rigorous. Multi-stage evaluation, sometimes like 5, 6, 7 meetings.
Wow.
Yeah, and they mix intense technical checks with behavioral interviews. They often use the STAR method situation, task, action, result. It helps them see how you think and act, ensuring alignment with that innovative why. It's about finding both the skill and the mindset.
So looking at all these examples, Zappos, Southwest, Patagonia, Apple, what's the common thread?
It's that the why isn't just a poster on the wall. It's operationalized. It's baked into everything.
Into employer branding, job descriptions.
Exactly. And crucially, into onboarding. Good structured onboarding, that alone can boost new hire retention by 50% and make people 62% more productive. It's about making that why real from day one.
Okay, so this brings us back to what you mentioned earlier. If companies are doing this well, operationalizing their why, what does that mean for building the ultimate team? You said it's evolving beyond just fit.
Right. It's moving towards cultural add. The idea isn't just to find people who are identical, but people who align with the core why while bringing new perspectives.
So embracing cognitive diversity.
Precisely. Even fostering what's called cognitive friction, that's like the productive clash of different ideas. And it requires intellectual humility.
Which is what? Being willing to change your mind.
Yeah, being open to revising your views when you get new information. It prevents that groupthink we worried about earlier, while still keeping everyone pulling in the same direction based on the core why.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So for you listening right now, what does this mean for you when you're looking for a role?
Well, it really flips the script a bit, doesn't it? It starts with self-reflection. What's your why?
Good point.
Then, when you're prepping for interviews, really dig into the company's why. Don't just read the mission statement. Look for evidence, like the examples we discussed.
Use that STAR method yourself to tell stories that show your alignment.
Absolutely. And prepare your own questions. Interview them back. Make sure they are genuinely a fit for your values, your purpose.
Wow. Okay, what an insightful deep dive this has been into the power of why in hiring.
It really is powerful.
From cutting down turnover to sparking real innovation. The impact seems undeniable.
Ultimately, it's about organizations genuinely inviting you to join a cause, not just fill a seat, And for you, it's about finding that place where your personal purpose truly connects with their mission. That's how you build these resilient, adaptable organizations that, really thrive.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really crucial question, one that maybe gets overlooked after the initial excitement. How do you actually sustain your why? That core purpose, that belief.
Yeah, finding it is one thing. Keeping it alive day in, day out. That's another challenge entirely.
Absolutely. So our mission today is really to dig into Simon Sinek's work, start with why, the infinite game, and pull out some insights.
Right. We want to understand how individuals and, organizations too, keep that guiding star burning bright, especially when things get tough.
And hopefully equip you with some real strategies, things you can use to make sure your why doesn't just, survive, but actually thrives for the long haul.
Exactly. Generations even.
Okay, so let's maybe start with a quick refresher.
Okay.
The golden circle. People probably know it, but just in case.
Good idea. So picture 3 circles. At the very center, the core, that's your why. Your purpose, cause, belief.
Then the next circle out is the how, your values, the specific actions you take that make you special.
And the outer circle is the what. The products, the services, the actual job function.
And the key point Sinek makes is that most people communicate outside in. They start with what they do.
Yeah, we sell these great computers, but inspired leaders, inspired organizations, they communicate inside out. They start with why they do it.
We believe in challenging the status quo and thinking differently. Then they get to the how and what.
And there's a biological reason this works, which is fascinating. The what speaks to the neocortex, the rational brain, but the why, that connects with the limbic system. That's the part that drives emotion, behavior, trust, loyalty. It's gut feeling.
So people don't just buy what you do, they buy why you do it. That emotional connection, like with Apple you mentioned.
Precisely. It builds loyalty that goes way beyond just a transaction.
Okay, so if that's the power of why, how do we make sure it endures? What's the framework for sustaining it?
Right. So Sinek talks about needing this kind of golden triangle to keep it strong. It's about active upkeep.
A triangle? Okay. What are the points?
First is absolute clarity of WHY. And he stresses this isn't something you invent in a boardroom. It's something you discover. It's already there.
Like a revelation. Got it.
Second is the discipline of HLW. This means sticking to your values, your guiding principles, your processes, even when it's difficult or maybe less profitable in the short term.
That sounds like where things can get tricky.
Oh, definitely. And the third point is consistency of what? Everything you do, everything you produce, every message you put out, it all has to consistently prove your why.
So people see it. They don't just hear it. It builds that authenticity.
Exactly. Authenticity and trust.
Yeah.
If your what contradicts your why, people see right through it.
Which I guess leads nicely into this other big idea from Sinek, the infinite game. This feels really connected to sustainability.
Hugely connected. So many people, so many companies, they operate with a finite mindset.
Meaning?
Meaning they think in terms of winning and losing, defined endpoints like winning a contract, beating a competitor this quarter.
Right, short-term focus.
Yeah, and that can lead to, cutting corners, maybe using manipulative tactics to hit a target, fear, promotions, peer pressure.
But business and life really aren't finite games, are they? There's no winning life.
Precisely. Sinek argues they're infinite games. The goal isn't to win, it's to keep playing, to perpetuate the game.
So an infinite mindset means focusing on long-term value, resilience, continuous improvement.
Yes. And building trust, fostering relationships. It understands that true loyalty isn't built through manipulation, it's built through inspiration, which naturally aligns with a strong, consistent why.
Okay, but here's a tough question then. How do you stay true to that core why? Play that infinite game when the world, the market, technology, it's all changing constantly. It seems like a tension there.
That's where existential flexibility comes in. It sounds fancy, but it's basically the courage to make potentially massive shifts in your how and your what in order to better advance your core why. Your purpose remains constant, but how you achieve it and what you offer might need to change radically.
So you're not rigidly stuck to the old ways of doing things.
Not at all. Think about Kodak. They actually invented the digital camera, but they were so attached to the film business, they couldn't embrace the change.
Even though digital photography arguably aligned with the potential deeper purpose around capturing memories?
Right. They lacked that existential flexibility. They couldn't disrupt their how and what to serve their potential why in a new era. And, well, we know how that ended.
Wow. That's a powerful example. And we see the flip side too, right? Companies that lost their way.
Oh, definitely. Nokia, they were huge, but they resisted touchscreens, clung to their old ways. Blockbuster laughed at Netflix.
Yeah.
In both cases, you could argue their failure to adapt their how and what showed they'd lost sight of or couldn't evolve with their core purpose. Maybe it was connecting people or providing entertainment. Their inflexibility compromised their reason for being.
But then you look at others.
Exactly. Look at Patagonia. Their why, to save our home planet, it infuses everything. Their materials, their repairs, their activism.
Or Lego. To inspire and develop the builders of tomorrow. They went from simple bricks to robotics, movies, complex sets.
But it all still serves that core mission. They adapted their what and how massively, but the why stayed true. They live it. That builds incredible lasting trust.
So bringing this all back, for you listening, sustaining your why isn't passive. It's an ongoing, active commitment.
There really is. It's about building trust over time, thinking infinitely, not just about the next win.
And having that courage, that existential flexibility to change how you do things if needed, to stay true to why you do them.
So maybe ask yourself, does your what, your daily actions, your output truly prove your why consistently?
Are you playing a finite game focused on just winning the next battle, or an infinite game focused on the long journey?
And how can you personally lead by example? How can you embed that purpose deeper into everything you do? Remember that quote from Cynic?
Which one?
Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion.
That really hits home. So, the final thought to leave you with. What kind of enduring legacy will your unwavering why create?
That's all for this episode of the Deep Dive Cast. Thanks for joining us. We hope you gained some valuable insights. Be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive into the world's best ideas. Until then, keep learning and growing.